Alright guys, this is Sam. Now I'll be covering the first 5 fights which the odds has been released for the event UFC Fight Night 27, or also known as UFC on Fox Sports 2. So the fights I'll be covering now will be Martin Kampmann and Carlos Condit as the main event. And as co-main event we have Rafael dos Anjos and Donald Cerrone, Brian Melican and Kelvin Gastelum, Court McGee and Robert Whittaker, Robert McDaniel and Brad Tavares. So the first fight that I'm gonna talk about will be Bubba McDaniel and Brad Tavares. The line is very steep on Brad Tavares now. I think he's the most likely winner, but I don't recommend him a bet because mostly because of his last fight against Rick Fukuda. He didn't perform so well. He was quite stiff on his strikes, not so explosive as some previous fights. And I don't know, man, why he didn't perform so good. Fukuda had some injury during the fight. He barely shot some takedown. Still, Brad was just landing some short combinations, not really causing damage. So I don't know how he can show up to this fight. So that's why the line the way it is, I think it's very much a pass on Brad Tavares. And on Bubba McDaniel, he's sort of a good fighter, veteran of the sport, but he's not a really good fighter for me, because mostly what he do is wait until his opponent tires himself up, then he tries to land his combos, then he tries to get the opponent down, and eventually he can finish. But his strikes are not so good. Mostly he goes forward stepping, combinations like 1-2, very simple. He shoots right after, but again, he's not so good in wrestling. He doesn't really dig in for the takedown. So I believe he wouldn't be able to get Brad Tavares down. Brad Tavares has really nice takedown defense. And I don't think that Bubba can control and push the action for so long as well. He has not so good cardio. Mostly he does quite well on the third round because he mostly does nothing around for the whole fight, and then at the end, when his opponent tires up, he does something that what happened against his last opponent, this Gilbert, forgot his name, but on 217 final. So the only thing I would be thinking of bet is Brad Tavares, maybe in round 2 or 3. I believe in round 1, Bubba will try push the action. Brad Tavares has power, but not legit power to KO Bubba McDaniel in round 1. But in round 2 and 3, I believe the amount of punches he will land can cause big damage in Bubba. So the lines I was checking, I didn't find any prop bet in round 2 and 3 for Brad. So maybe it will appear a little bit after. But I don't know about the numbers. I think if you can get that around plus 600 on the second round and around plus 800 for Brad in the third round, then it's worth a small play. But I also don't. I also think it's possible that Brad can win a decision. So my suggestion here, if you think that Bubba can win, I don't think so. I wouldn't bet him anyway. But if you can maybe look him as a split decision, that's the only way that I think Bubba can win, as some robbed decision, since the judges in MMA suck. So you can maybe try to get some prop on Bubba as split decision. There is no way he's gonna submit Brad Tavares. Brad's not so much of a good grappler, but he's quite aware there. He wouldn't be submitted by Bubba. Anyway, Bubba is quite good grappler, but he's not so good in BJJ. Mostly the guys he caught in submissions that were guys which didn't know nothing and were really tired again. So that was my analysis for this fight.